The Miller family lived in Denver, Colorado, in a quiet cul-de-sac where every house looked nearly identical. David Miller, a software developer, often worked late into the night. His wife, Karen, balanced part-time teaching with caring for their teenage twins, Chloe and Adam. To neighbors, the Millers were perfectly ordinary, friendly smiles, trimmed hedges, holiday decorations. But behind their front door, a silence had grown. A silence nobody dared to break. In January 2025, Chloe began waking up from nightmares. She claimed to hear whispers in the house, voices calling her name. At first, Karen dismissed it as stress from school, but Adam admitted he'd heard it too. Sometimes at night, it's like someone's in my room, he said, his face pale. David grew frustrated. It's an old house. Pipes creak. That's it. Yet, as weeks passed, the tension thickened. The silence at dinner became heavier than the whispers. One night, Chloe screamed so loudly the neighbors called the police. She swore she saw a shadow standing at the foot of her bed. When officers arrived, they found nothing. But the incident rattled Karen. That same week, while cleaning the attic, she discovered a box of old journals hidden beneath the insulation. The name on the first page, Eleanor Miller, 1978, the journals told the story of a woman who once lived in the same house, a woman who wrote about her abusive husband and her plan to escape with her children. But the last entry ended abruptly. If anything happens to me, it will be his doing. Karen's blood ran cold. She shared it with David, but he dismissed it. Ghost stories, he scoffed. But Chloe whispered, what if she never left? Soon, things escalated. Doors slammed without wind. Lights flickered. Adam found scratches on his window frame, as if someone had clawed at it. One night, Karen saw a figure reflected in the hallway mirror, but when she turned, the space was empty. Fear gnawed at the family. David remained stubbornly rational, blaming faulty wiring, imagination, anything but the possibility that their home carried echoes of violence. Chloe grew obsessed with Eleanor's journals. She traced property records, discovering Eleanor had indeed lived there but had vanished without a trace. No police report, no grave. Karen began to suspect that Eleanor's spirit lingered, warning them. David grew angrier, refusing to listen. The more Karen pushed, the more explosive their arguments became. You sound insane, he shouted. No, Karen replied coldly. I sound like a woman who believes the truth. The climax came one stormy night in March 2025. The family gathered in the living room when the power cut out. In the darkness, Chloe screamed again. A shadow loomed by the staircase. This time, all of them saw it. A figure, tall, blurred, moving with deliberate steps, stood staring. Adam swore he heard a woman's voice whisper, "He did this to me." The shadow vanished as the lights flickered back. Silence followed, heavy as stone. The next day, Karen contacted the Historical Society. Old court records revealed that Eleanor's husband had been arrested in 1978 but never charged. Eleanor's body was never found. Rumors suggested she was buried in the very foundations of the house. Horrified, Karen demanded they leave. But David refused. We can't just abandon everything. Chloe and Adam sided with their mother. The family fractured, half clinging to denial, half desperate to escape. Weeks later, construction crews digging for renovations unearthed human remains in the backyard. Dental records confirmed Eleanor Miller. The house became a crime scene. Headlines read, 1978 cold case solved after 47 years. For the Millers, it was no longer about whispers, it was about the weight of history living inside their home. Karen took the children and moved into her sister's apartment. David, stubborn to the end, remained behind. He claimed he didn't believe in ghosts, but at night, neighbors swore they heard him shouting at someone who wasn't there. By the end of 2025, the Miller family was broken. Chloe and Adam went to therapy, haunted by visions of shadows. Karen filed for divorce, choosing safety over silence. And David? He stayed in the house, growing thinner, paler, as if consumed by something unseen. Chloe wrote in her diary, We thought silence kept us safe, but silence is what buried Eleanor. We won't make the same mistake. The whispers were gone, but their echo would never leave the Millers.